はい、皆さん、こんにちは。This is Unit 3, too. In this unit, we're going to keep looking at the sentence patterns related to the speaker's will or intentions. The first sentence pattern here is the volitional form plus と思っています. So if you remember back from the previous lesson, we learned this new conjugation of verbs called the volitional forms. Like 食べる becomes 食べよう or 行く becomes 行こう. These volitional forms, when used with the と思っています, this can describe your intention or plan of doing something, like thinking of doing. 今度の週末、旅行に行こうと思っています. So 行く is in the volitional form. 行こうと思っています. Next weekend, I'm thinking of going on a trip. So 行こうと思っています. 来年、彼女にプロポーズしようと思っています. So next year, I'm thinking of proposing marriage, proposing to my girlfriend. プロポーズしよう、プロポーズする turns to しようと思っています. Now, in case you have forgotten, here's a recap of how to make the volitional forms of verbs. So we have different rules depending on the verb types. What are do verbs? This is simple. You need to just replace the る with the よ. So 食べる will be 食べよう. 寝る will be 寝よう. For う verbs, you need to replace the う sound with the お sound. So 帰る will be 帰ろう. 飲む will be 飲もう. 会う will be 会おう. Finally, irregular verbs, you just have to memorize them. する will be しよう. 来る will be 来よう. So first, recap or recall these volitional forms of the verbs and then combine them with the と思っています. This is thinking of doing, your intention or plans. Next up, this is the advising sentence pattern of たらどうですか?たらどうですか? In English, probably it's close in meaning to like, why don't you do something? Let's imagine there is a person saying, I feel sick, I feel unwell. 気分が悪いんです. 気分が悪いんです. Then you might advise to the person, hey, then why don't you take some medicine? 薬を飲んだらどうですか?薬を飲んだらどうですか? That's in the past tense. 飲んだらどうですか? There's another person saying, I'm broke, I don't have money. お金がないんです. お金がないんです. Then your advice may be, why don't you work part-time in the weekend? 週末にアルバイトをしたらどうですか? So verbs in the ta form. So this is the past tense, short form. be た、飲んだ、したらどうですか? This is advice or suggestion. So again, you need to recall how to make the short past tense, the ta form. So if you don't remember them well, you can go back to the unit A3 of level 1. This is the lesson about how to make the past short form of verbs. So もっと勉強したらどうですか? Why don't you study more? 先生に聞いたらどうですか? 聞く turns to 聞いた。聞いたらどうですか? Why don't you ask the teacher? Now, thinking of advising sentence patterns, we already learned 方がいいです. 方がいいです. This is what we learned in the level 1 unit 10. 方がいいです. Like, as in you should do. What's the difference between 方がいいです and たらどうですか that we just learned? Basically, 方がいいです from level 1, this is more imperative. This is a little bit more strong, actually. Like when you use this, you need to be confident in your advice. And you're very confident that the person you're talking to will probably benefit from your advice. You should definitely do something. But ただどうですか? If you look at that, it's in the question format. か ending in か. ただどうですか? So this is actually a little more soft. And it's more of a suggestion. Hey, why don't you do something? This is my advice. You might want to do this, but final decision is up to you. So this is like a softer version of suggestion, leaving the final decision up to the person. But whichever one you're using, one thing to be mindful about is that basically you should only use this kind of advising phrases only when you are asked for advice. It's because in whatever situation, when you are giving advice, you would inevitably sound a little bit critical to some extent. This is inevitable. So this might sound a little too direct in Japanese and a little bit less respectful than expected. So you should just remember that you basically would only give advice when you are asked. So unless your relationship with that person is very, very casual, or when that person is like your friend, your very close friends, or your close family members, you should only basically use advices in a situation where you are asked for one.